Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream this Sunday. Uh, hope it's going good for you, and thanks again for taking the time to stop by, check this out. And yeah, let's get to it. I think what I was planning to do today, I didn't get to do whole lot from yesterday until today. I'm mostly looking into like hierarchical LODs right now and seeing how those can be generated. And while I was able to generate them, so whenever you like generate HLODs, you will be able to see them in here, and they're usually labeled with the name of your HLOD layer. But unfortunately, I can't really tell of any kind of performance improvement over uh, not having them. So I'm still probably missing something, but I was kind of hoping that it would have a little bit of a bigger impact. I think I mentioned a while back that a lot of these are still just like all these buildings are made out of these individual pieces. So I plan to make this into like a packed level actor and not just a level instance. So hopefully, I mean that will definitely help with performance a lot. But I was also hoping to make use of the HLODs, which were something that was working perfectly fine in 4.27 and the 4 series engine, but ever since after 5, um, it seems like it's been all over the map. So, kind of settings changes. There is very little any kind of, concrete type of documentation um, on doing it in this kind of setup. Like, for example, that I have, which, I have all these like level instances that, I just want to want to do it that way because it's a lot easier to keep track of things for me at least. I'm assuming it would work fine if all of these would be like broken down into their own like assets, like uh, you would like right click on one of these and just like break it. But I'm hoping there's a way that you can like easily make this work with um, the current system of HLODs. So I'm still trying to sift through any kind of documentation, and it's mostly just looking at what I'm going to try and do is look at that city sample, I believe, package because they do make use of HLOD. So I want to see how they generate it in there. So hopefully I'll have something for next week to share with you guys, and hopefully something impactful as far as performance goes. And but yeah, in the meantime, I've detected and improved on a couple of things. Namely, I might have shown in previous streams like how I handle this kind of like electrical system, with all these electrical poles that kind of dynamically link between each other. But one thing that I never really took into account is that kind of the render distance for these elements. So I managed to cut quite a few draw calls by not setting these to be, like the electrical pole itself and the cable to not be visible past like 5,000 units or something like that. So if you go a little bit further, you see like they kind of disappear. And probably 5,000 is a little small. I think I could go with a higher value, but I was trying to test that out and see if it helps with lowering the draw calls, and it did. But yeah, I hope to get a little bit more info on the HLODs and be able to share that with you guys. Okay. So what I was thinking of doing today is continuing a little bit with the work that we started yesterday, just kind of creating these zones and setting up the fences around them. So I think what we did, where we left off yesterday, was right here in zone 4. And so yeah, let's continue closing this off. And I was trying to think of of a way to do it because there's also this little neighborhood here. So I'm probably gonna I had plans for like a um, kind of like a special zone, so to speak, but I might keep it in this area. So for now, we'll just seal this area off, then this section over here, and then this one. So yeah, let's get to it. And you might remember from yesterday that I was just like reusing these I mean, not reusing, but just using these scatter spleen asses, scatter meshes. And and again, this is um, another example of, even with like instance meshes, I'm trying to not have them be visible like all the way into, the next level. So yes, there we go. So let's use this. And actually gonna probably just grab this one because already the spline points are in place and the rotation is also as it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna try and get these within a good spot just so that I can get that little corner in there. So let's see. The one thing that I'm trying to be mindful is that that corner doesn't have like the kind of the separating poles between the meshes. So might want to do kind of flip these around just like this. So you can see like this one will be able to match that one and the corner. And for this one, I'm gonna try and bring this point closer to about here because there'll be like a kind of a corner transition over on this side. All right, so I'm just gonna reduce the numbers of instances. Let's see, how many do we need? The one thing that I should have paid a little bit more attention to is just step back here for a little bit. The spline points, I want them to be on the same line, so that way I don't get any kind of issue with rotation from the meshes themselves, so they all line up. All right, so let's get this one. And I think, did we say 12, 10? 12 should be almost there. 12, 13, 14. I think that might be good there. So let me grab one of the corner pieces. And just like we did yesterday, I'm going to use this in here. Let's see, I hope that this line up, actually, yeah, that lines up as really well. So let me try and position this as close as we can. Let's see, so this one. Okay, I think that will work there. And on this side, let's try and bring these as close as possible. And that is almost there. I might just need to adjust the spline like we did yesterday. So that's a good point there, but let's see if we can adjust these points to make the spline kind of follow the terrain a little bit better. Kind of like that. Let's see, that is almost where it should be. Just adjust this a little bit. There we go. Better. Okay, that's pretty good. Um, quite happy with that. And we're also gonna need kind of just going into this corner here to follow along the street. I think the whole thing might need one more instance like that. Let's see, can we? I'm gonna try and kind of bring it closer to the middle of the street here. So maybe to about there. Let's see how many points do we need here. Well, maybe just one more. 19. Okay. I think that should be enough. Let me try and get this within a point there. Okay. That's pretty good there. So then it goes all the way to here. And now we just need that corner again. Come on, I know I can grab it from here. There we go. The good thing is that it's got the right scaling. I think this point I might need to lift it up a little bit. It's just a little bit on the ground. So just like that, there we go. Hey Hamza, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? There we go. That's good. All right, so let's try and get this corner piece in place. Try and bring it close. Yeah, almost there. Good. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Good to have you. Which one of the roads material were you interested in seeing? Is it this one, like the one with the like the road tracks? Oh, the asphalt. So the asphalt is just a simple material. Let me see. So here I just need to go under my splines and select that mesh. Where is it? Here. Okay, so here it is. Really simple. Nothing too complicated about it. See, maybe as a plane might be a little bit easier to see. There we go. Yeah, so it's just basically something that I did in Quixel Mixer. by overlaying a couple of materials on top of this, like just like a asphalt and then a dirt surface. And then I just use the mask tool to mask out like the wheels going back and forth, right? And then the mask for it is literally just like this. Let me see, where is the mask? So this is how the mask looks, right? So that way it gives you the edges for that. And this is just a simple masked material. If you want to take a look at it here, I can show you real quick. Oh, maybe, maybe not. My apologies for like the spaghetti because it literally is. I haven't looked at this or cleaned it up in forever. But basically, what you have is you have a base color, just like with any materials. You have a roughness, metallic, and opacity, and it's a surface masked default lit. And then I just plug all these in to my material attributes. And along with the opacity mask, I also do like this dither temporal AA, which adds a little bit of smoothness to the mask. But but yeah, other than that, it's just your really basic uh, masked um masked material. Nothing too fancy about it. I think there's like plenty of packages, free packages on the marketplace that have these um, um, these um, these mask materials. So yeah, let me know. Hopefully that helped a little bit, just to give you an idea of how that material is I have made. Oh yeah, no problem. My pleasure. It's I was thinking a while back to do a tutorial on how I made that, but there's so many of them on YouTube that I just didn't want to add any more like kind of information that maybe it wouldn't be too useful. Uh, because again, the people making the tutorials are actual, you know, artists and all that, and I'm just I I kind of hack things. So or uh, so I'm not a professional. I don't want to give people like the wrong advice, and especially on something that's been done, like as the case with that. Okay. So this one is almost in place. I was saying almost because it's not all the way there. So let's also add the last piece of fence, like this one that goes all the way into the street. All right, so I think that's good there. Probably gonna need a few more instances to go along with this. So let's increase the number of these pieces like that. That is almost there. Let's try and kind of get this car out of the way a little bit, because I might want to kind of bring this in all the way to here. Yeah, I think that should be good there. And then this one, let's extend it out and down. Yeah, I really like this tool. Like the ease of creating things like this is awesome. 23, that should be good there. They're a little bit spaced out at the end here. I'm not entirely sure why. Okay, that's better. So this one, I'm gonna try and position it right here, like there. So now this last piece here, I'm gonna try and put like a gate. I think I might have some in this um, kind of fence package. Let's see, will this fit? Actually, not. Yeah, it fits pretty good. Let me try and like kind of get it in place there. There we go. And oh yeah, that's much better than I expected. So that's good. Let me try and line these up a little bit better. Like right out here in this little connection. See if I go into unlit mode. Nope. I was thinking that I could see it a little bit better, but I think I'm still just gonna inch it in place like this. There we go. That's good. All right, and this fence is actually good all the way through. I'm surprised that I kind of managed to get these points to line up with the ground. Hey Rod, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's close this off right here. Okay, and this fence, this is the uh, one that I need to adjust a little bit more. So let's see, because this one kind of climbs over the edge here. Like kind of this road elevation, like this road is has a slope to it, and that's what I mentioned some time ago, like having slopes. I'm not sure if it was gonna bite me at some point, but I was expecting it. So there we go. Hey, Alanika, welcome. No worries, good to have you. All right, so let's see. This part here, can we make this one to follow the road a little bit better? Or do we need an extra point? Can we make it with just 2 points? So there's that to about here. Yeah, these splines are so awesome. It was like, I think when I moved from CryEngine to Unreal, if I recall correctly, CryEngine didn't have these. And in Unreal, I was like, oh my God, this is possible. So yeah, that was a cool thing to do. And I think this is gonna work with just two spline points. Yeah, I am okay with that. That actually turned out pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now let's just remove these. And luckily this is along the road. Yeah. Oh, the fences? I was thinking about that, but then I'm like, uh, yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna make sense. So I don't have any plans for it at the moment, um, but yeah, I was thinking about it, just to give a little bit more like gravity to the situation. Um, so I'll see how it looks. Because I do like the idea. So it's one of those things that is, like it's cool to have. But I'll see how it, because I mean, I have to think about like the particle effects and like the crackles, kind of the noises coming from it. So since I'm still debating on the time of day that the game is going to take place because I kind of like it during overcast kind of setting or at nighttime. And I was playing around with spotlights to see how they would look in the in the world. But yeah, so and that's the other thing. Since it's I was also thinking of, kind of a full night, the day night cycle. Um, but that was a little bit more difficult to achieve, especially in regards of the lighting and the lighting, the exterior lighting and the interior lighting. So I can show you how it looks at night, or at least how I was planning to do it at night, and just to give you an idea of what I was trying to do with like the spotlights and stuff. So let me try and get this one to align as best as I can. There we go. Okay. So this one goes all the way up the hill to here. It's going to need to be a little bit longer to encompass this zone, but that is almost in place. Yeah, so if it was to be like nighttime, so let's see, where is my sky? So this would be during night, so at that point there would be like some of these lights along the perimeter fence, um, and like spotlights like this one on this side. Um, so I was debating on that as well, whether I want to have it take place during nighttime or daytime. The only thing that I do like during the daytime is um, you can achieve, I think, a little bit more dramatic lighting for interiors. Hopefully that makes sense. So, for example, during like the not daylight, but let's do sunset. Sunset is a little bit more nice to look at. So for sunset, like you've seen some of the interiors that we were working on before, you get some pretty cool, interior lighting with Lumen that you don't really get with with a nighttime setup, so interiors like this one could benefit quite a bit from a daytime, uh, sunset in this case, uh, time of day. So megalites, I don't know. I haven't tried them, and they're still experimental, so they're probably nice for like cinematic kind of stuff, but I don't know how they're gonna be for like a build game. There's like a lot of nice features that Unreal has, but I don't know how production ready any of them are. I think, I was able to. I know Lumen is. Seems to be like I was able to build my project with Lumen. I haven't tried Nanite. I assume that one is as well, but um, I don't want to rely on too many uh, extra stuff, right? From at least from 4.27. Like I said, if 4.27 would have had Lumen, I would have still been on 4.27. Hey, Nolikable, uh, did you try PCG stuff? I haven't. I've looked at it. It's really cool. The only uh, place that I could see me using it is for like, outdoors and like, trees and all that. But right now, stuff like this, where my procedural foliage volume doesn't spawn things, I just use like this eye scatter tool to like so this one to spawn some trees along a spline, and I kind of control some areas that way. Like for example, bushes like around this antenna, like all these bushes are just this eye scatter tool that I spawn in place. Like for example, these ones, they're also just this eye scatter tool. So yeah, that's I use this tool in the place of PCG. It wasn't necessarily the reason that it's complicated, but it is, it's kind of another thing that you have to learn. And I if it if it works, it works, so um, I I would like to see if there's any di performance difference between like the PCG and the procedural foliage volumes, like all this stuff is done through the procedural foliage volume, like instance foliage actor. So I'm not sure if um, PCG has advantages over that and like performance increases, improvements. So yeah, I would love to see kind of a comparison with that, but I don't know if anybody has done that yet, you know. Uh, so yeah, it definitely looks cool. Like everything that people have achieved, it's awesome, I like the way you can configure some things. I love it. I mean, I wish I had the time to invest in it and like learn it a little bit more, but I also have to be realistic about things, right? So, and actually, one second, let me turn off one thing that I'm not sure if other folks are using, but so I've been using data layers at least for the purpose of managing my editors. So right now, also part of why it's performing so poorly is I have everything in my game loaded. So I should be hiding like I'm not sure, like the warehouse, like these shacks, um, like the residential areas, the motel, the mobile home park, the mine, the lookout tower. Let's see what else. The dam, the chemical plant, cemetery can stay. These antenna ones, so just kind of helping me with just working on these locations that I'm in right now. Yeah. So what is better, BP or level? So what do you mean by BP? I assume the level is level instances, but what do you mean by BP? I mean blueprints, right? But what kind? All right, so let's see. I just want to scale this, place it here on this corner. Oh man, if I was if I was trying to do it, I don't think I would have been able to get it this close. That's cool. And that's why I was trying to keep things like these lines just going straight and not uh, turn them around in any ways. But this one is close enough that what I can do is I can like do a minimal scaling on it. So like I'm gonna try and position it for this one here, and then just scale it out here a little bit. Oops, let's just turn that off and scale it to there. Okay. So that closed this area off as well. Okay, that's good. The other thing that I wanted to add, and you might have noticed it like going around here, is kind of just some dirt and debris and these like these heavy type of, I'm not sure what you call it, like barriers. So I'm gonna use the same thing here, just this one. And let's get that barrier. Oh, yeah, yeah. So the way I do it is, let me get this in place real quick. One second. Yeah, so the way I do it, I have level instances, and um, yeah, so this is a blueprint. So this particular blueprint, what it does is it has it creates instance static meshes, right? So it's good uh, for instancing. Uh, Basically, just creating one draw call. But for your question, so the way I do it is, at least at the moment, and hopefully the plan, if I can't figure out HLODs, because I'm hoping to figure out HLODs, that should also help with reducing the amount of draw calls. But right now I have level instances, right? So a level instance is like one of these buildings. And at the moment, don't mind this, I just kind of messed up the material. But so the level instance itself, you can see that it has a bunch of repeating pieces. And so what I'm planning on doing is actually turning this into a packed level actor. So that would be a good example to show you would be, oops, I've hidden the motel. So where's the motel? The motel exterior. So here, like the motel exterior is, if I go in and edit it, let's see, hopefully I'm not, it is um, a packed level actor. So basically it has so many repeating pieces. If we were to go into one of these and look at it, so each one of these is a different kind of mesh, and it could be a lot better. But as you can see, like this one, for example, is this roof piece. And this one has two instances. Like there's some that I'm not even sure what these are about. This might be a good place to go in and clean some of these, but um, I'm not sure why these ones are not. Some of them should have been like a single piece. But what I wanted to show you is this one, for example, has four instances, so that's only one draw call. And so that's what my plan is to, if I can't figure out how to get HLODs working, um, my hope is to get them to figure it out. So kind of combining HLODs with these pack level actors, I hope to bring down the draw calls quite significantly. But right now, even by just having this stuff, um, as a pack level actor into this blueprint, it reduced my draw calls significantly. And I what I do is I keep these blueprints within a level instance, and that's mostly just for being able to manage it a little bit easier, and also adding this level instance to a HLOD layer. And this is the part where I'm still a little fuzzy on how the HLOD layer is working with level instances, but also being able to add it to a data layer. So being able to add it to like a motel exterior data layer that I can control through my data layers here, so that I can just like quickly unhide it or hide it. And this one also has like like at runtime, you can like set it so that it loads. And I mentioned a little bit earlier about what I'm trying to do with when I load into the world, right? And I was hoping to use also data layer parts of it, but it's still like there's a lot of fuzzy documentation at the moment and like tutorials on how this works, and none of them cover kind of my particular situation, where I have like level instances, I have these data layers, and within level instances, I have packed level actors. Um, so at least that's my current setup, right? But uh, yeah, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea. Knowledgeable. Lanika, will you add escape methods like climbing fences, digging tunnels, or under the fence, or cutting fences? The one that I was thinking of adding is cutting fence, but I'm still debating on that. So right now you've probably seen that there are some like entry and exit methods out of these areas, and one of them was kind of going through the sewer through here, and kind of entering the first zone over here, then from this zone being able to go into this zone via the zip line, and then in this zone there's going to be a couple of methods, also at zip line from one of the buildings onto zone 3 here, and also outside of this through like a kind of a crawling mechanism. I showed you earlier that I have joined the zipline mechanism with the crawling mechanism, so I can do any kind of like these these little sneaky movements easily that way. But currently that's the methods of kind of navigating between locations in the town, and outside of the town, right? Because you're not just going to be in these safe zones, right? You're going to also go outside of town, and like the motel area, which is hidden right now, but the motel area, like the residential houses area, and everything else outside of the town are going to be unsafe zones, right? So, or there's no safe zone there, basically. Hey, World Unbound, welcome, welcome. Let's see, what's the advantage of having data layers versus level partitioning? So I think I was using level partitioning um, before. Well, I mean, I guess you mean world partition, right? Um, so you can use them in conjunction. Hopefully, when you mean like level partitioning is you mean more like world partition and nullable? Yeah, my pleasure. You're very welcome. So I thought level partitioning was how you unloaded parts of the level that is unseen by the way. Yeah, so exactly that's what it does. And so right now I have, that's another thing that I'm doing is each one of these level instances, they have a runtime grid. Right now this one's not set, but let me see if I can select one that is set. There you go. So this one would be an example, or not that one. Oops, I need to set these up on grids. I was kind of wondering why these are these are not loaded, but let me see. Is it the diner? Okay, so for example, the diner is has a large assets runtime grid, and that one is is set to a pretty far away like loading range, 50,000 units. But then interiors would be small assets, which is a much smaller range, which at 1,000. So that way those actors are not loaded until you're like close. So that part works fine from my testing, and that really helps as well. Um, the data layers, you can use them in conjunction with the world partition, right? So right now, each one of these is on a specific data layer. For example, like this and everything else in this zone. So I can zoom out a little bit. So for example, I'm not sure if you've seen some of my work so far, But right now, this town is split into zones, right? And so, for example, within my data layers, I have like town one zone exterior, so I can hide that. And this I mostly use it right now for like editor management, just so that I can hide or unhide different areas. And um, but I was also thinking of whether I can use this when loading into the world. So with 5.3 and 5.2, so this stuff was working in 5.3 and 5.2 for me. When I start the game, I was trying to use the world partition subsystem to determine if the streaming has completed, like like everything has been loaded in, and that's when um, our um, everything has been loaded in, and that's when I can spawn the player and start the game. And while it still works, I'm not able to track it anymore. Like before, what I was doing is I was creating this, like a little bit of a loading window, loading UI to just tell the player that it's loading. And I kept on checking to see if streaming has completed. Well, right now, this section, I'm not sure why it doesn't work anymore. Um, like I only get that it's loaded and everything has been, streamed in and, start the game basically. So I can't, I'm not showing this anymore, which is, I'm trying to figure out why that is. But you're totally right. And that's my understanding as well, that they're for editor purposes, when it comes to the data layers. But I've seen some people like using them at runtime because like within a data layer asset, you can set this to be like editor or runtime. And I am not entirely sure, I mean, if you switch this to runtime, is that going to be, uh, would you be able to use that or not? So yeah, there's definitely some growing pains. They've been so quick at releasing these like minor versions, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, now 5.5. It seems to have a higher like release cycle than Unreal Engine 4. So hopefully they're also fixing things, because this is one of the things that I hate when it comes to development is, okay, shiny thing, shiny thing, shiny thing, shiny thing. We need to implement all of these, but then you got like a ton of bugs that you're just like, oh no no no, we need to get shiny things in, but screw the bugs, you know. Um, oh, you never use word partition? Yeah. So for me, it works really well. Because like before, I think it was like what is it, the level streaming or something like that, not word partition. So in level streaming, yeah, you'd have to like load a level and unload a level depending on where you are on the map and such. With world partition, these grids are really awesome. So I like that part a lot. But yeah, there's definitely some growing pains. So hopefully there's going to be more fixes coming. Yeah, totally. That's a good point about toggling and untoggling the actor visibility. But right now, as far as editor management, these work really well, I think. No, I did not activate my Windows. No, not yet. I think I might have mentioned this a while back. Um, so I got this computer some years ago. It was like an older computer, and I decided to upgrade it. Upgrade like the motherboard and the CPU. And of course, once you do that, Windows kind of complains about it, and it says, okay, well, I noticed you upgraded your computer. Here, you need to put in your key, your Windows key. And then I didn't have the Windows key from whenever that was. So yeah. All right, well, let's get a few more of these, like these little blocks. I actually need these to do a trace down. So there we go. That's better. Yeah, what I intend on doing is actually gonna just, buy the license eventually. Just need to save a little bit of money and get it. No, I wanted to align it to normal. There we go, that's better. I don't know what these ones at the end are, like messed up like this, which is odd. All the other ones are placed as expected. There we go. So we got these kind of just adding these extra blocks in here. Yeah, so as far as, like I said, the world partition, having things on the grid definitely works pretty nicely. It's a lot smoother than like the level streaming. Like the level streaming, I always used to get like a little bit of a freeze whenever I was loading a level. Of course, it probably depends a lot on how big the level is, but how many actors it has. But if you need to like load a number of them, um, yeah. All right, so let's add maybe another point to this. So like I said, this zone is going to close in on this area here. So let's say it's going to go up to around here. Do you ever do import export? Oh yeah, a ton of that. Because I do use a lot of like this package, is from the marketplace, but I do end up exporting a ton of stuff into Blender and making some edits. Like some things I end up creating myself. Um, I think in a previous stream we were doing something for an interior, and I'll show you really quick because I'm kind of proud of how it turned out. We were working at the hotel here, and so I had a little bit of an area where it was a little bit of a kind of a blank wall. So this is something I made from scratch. This elevator, this with the things at the top, like the buttons and the doors. So that's sometimes I make stuff, but a lot of times might just be something that's already been made, and uh, and I export it to Blender and then tweak it to make it work better, or at least to make it work for my needs. All right, let's get another piece over here. Oh, yeah. That's one thing that I don't really do. I don't really do skeletal stuff or like animations. I usually do that in Unreal. So when it comes to uh, kind of creating some custom poses or custom animations, at that point is just everything is done in Unreal. Uh, I I was playing around with some editing some skeletons in Blender, but it's just I'm not sure. It's like I get it, but it's at the same time, if I don't do it weekly, the next time I do it is like I need to start from zero. So it's a little frustrating. Um, yeah, I use Blender for meshes and environments, but I'm still trying to figure out if I should build instance meshes inside Blender or Unreal. Um, well, I think so. If you're thinking of, because you got a couple of options, right? So I was telling you about instance meshes, right? So a building like this, it's got like, one, two, three, four, five, five, six times three, 18 pieces on this side, maybe 18 pieces on that side. So if I go into this and make this into a pack level actor, all these are going to be just one draw call instead of 18. So that's kind of, instancing, but I can also turn this entire object into, I can merge it into one mesh. And at that point, you're going to have pretty much a very similar result in terms of draw calls, because you're going to have like this material, then you're going to have this material, then, this one on the windowsill, the walls, this little sign, this awning. So I like to keep it as a pack level actor because I can edit individual things after the fact. It's not so destructive as merging meshes, and um, and hopefully that's what you mean. But I'm not sure if there's any more memory efficient solution, one or the other. Um, but I like the fact that, I was showing you earlier the the motel over here. So let me show that. So like the motel exterior, right? So this entire thing is one pack level actor. And what I can do is I can just right click on it, and it kind of works as a level in a way where I can just go in here and break it. And at that point, I just break it back down into its individual pieces. And I can go in and remove some pieces, maybe, well, why do I need this? I don't know, like for example, um, why do I need this rail? I'll remove it, so that way when I pack it back into a pack level actor, that one's not going to be in there. But yeah, I mean, if you were to merge this into one asset, say I think you can also do, where is it? Tools, merge actors. So I can also select merge and then, merge everything into one piece. Um, I mean, at that point, I think one of the biggest issue, I think the collisions are going to transfer over into the new mesh, so it's going to take in all its individual bits and it's going to put it into that final mesh. But I kind of like the the non-destructive aspect of having like the hierarchical mesh setup, you know. And that's why I can't remember like um, I was playing around at one point with merging things into one mesh, but I didn't find it easier because what it also creates, it creates a mesh that has a ton of materials. And if you want to make edits to it and then re-import it, I'm not sure how messy it gets. And that's for not a big performance difference. You might get a fewer draw calls than one of these, but once you put it on the runtime grid, so it only loads for a certain distance, interiors are going to load from a much smaller distance. I think it's going to get it's kind of a wash. It's no difference. But again, it's probably simpler to be able to go back in and change a mesh, edit a mesh, change a material. Like if I was to, like right now, like for example, I'm just giving an example here. So in here, if I was to go in and edit this one, you know, I can select one of these, right? And here I can go in and change the material for this one. Like I want to change, maybe the color of the exterior walls. So let's go back in my thing here, and off to the side, let me move some things around. So right in here, I can go in and hoping albedo, so I can just make this one maybe red, right? So it changes all the, oh, I actually like that color. Um, so it changes this just that one, that particular instance, in my thing. Um, and that's why I really like it. And you just mentioned the collision things. So if I was to look at collisions, let me see, where was it? Show player collision, nope, or lit player collision. So this might take a little bit. Actually, why doesn't it show the collisions? That is kind of odd because I think I was just playing around this area and the collisions are in place, but yeah, I'd have to do a test run with this again just to make sure that they're still working as expected, and maybe they're just not showing because of the pack level actor. Um, yeah, some stuff such as internal faces of geometry needs to be deleted. Um, yeah, exactly. That's another thing. And the giant collision box might create an issue as well. And the other thing you can do is like with this pack level actor, I can go in and edit, and then I can also move some of these individual meshes around. So basically these individual instances is what I meant, so that's also a good thing. So yeah, overall I'm trying to use instancing as much as I can and wherever I can. Now, for example, you'll see that I have a ton of these like repeating assets, like these fences, but this is just one straight line, right? So yeah, this might be one draw call with the IA scatter tool, but there's like a ton of these single pieces. So what I'm gonna try and do is once I have everything in place, is kind of break these down, these IA scatter tools into one, because I think you can export the meshes out of this and then pack them up into a level actor. So that way, every one of these, like I have all these, like these ones, like all these fences that go around the town zones, I can like put them into one pack level actor, and then it's just going to be, well, maybe 5 or 6 draw calls. I think it doesn't handle scaling so well, but like I mean scaling, when I mean scaling, I mean like this one, for example, has a negative 1.1 on the y-axis. So I think it's going to be different. It's going to be a separate one from this one, which's got a negative 1.1 on the x-axis. So I think when you pack these up, they're going to be 2 separate instances. So basically 2 draw calls. But everything else, like these straight pieces, once you pack them in, it's just going to be one draw call for like the entire town. And so I'm gonna try that out and see how it works, just to further optimize things. But I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what my plan is. The plan, and kind of the plan and trying to to get things running as best as possible. And keeping myself with this old 1070 card, it also kind of makes me try and not, you know, um, when it comes to like targeting hardware, I think, going with like a lower end video card at, to get things to run decently on a modern card is just gonna blow. Like, I mean, not blow, but like it's gonna fly. That's what I meant. So yeah, That's at least what I'm trying to do. All right, let's see. So this one, we can move it around to that point. Okay, that's pretty much in place. All right. Now this one is going to go all the way to this ridge and then close into here. But yeah, thank you so much for the question, guys. It's always good because it makes me think as well. So I have a laptop 3050 Ti and it's lagging on start template with ultra high scalability. So what is ultra high? Is that like I have high right now, or is it like cinematic? Uh, is there a difference between like high and ultra high, or? And I wish I would know a bit more about kind of the 3 series, like where does a 3050 stack compared to a 1070? Oh, it's clear template. Okay. Yeah, so now you kind of made me curious about that, like the 3050 um, versus a 1070. Oh, so I guess the 1070 is better than the 3050? Not by much, I guess by 30% higher performance. Yeah, that's a good point, and I think also part of me streaming is, you know, bringing the game to people, like showing it. Hopefully, once I have a demo ready, I can reach out to folks and be like, hey, would you want to try it? You know? Oh, gotcha. So how much RAM do you currently have? Like I have 64, and I did notice quite a big performance boost from well, I mean from 16 there was a lot. Uh, when I actually run the game, it's no doesn't seem to be too much of a difference. But in the editor itself, like opening tabs, and sometimes I run it with like yesterday we had maybe 30 tabs open, and it was kind of running not that great. But so why is this one? It's got these weird like overlaps with the instances. I don't get it. Maybe I just needed a few more of these. There we go. I think that's better. So there's that. And maybe one more to close it off. 30, 31. Okay. I don't mind a little overlap. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. And that's what I had before, like 16. And like I said, once in game mode, I didn't notice anything really. drastically different when I was running the game itself, or any like the build game. But right now in the editor, I am noticing some. I'm noticing when I have a ton of tabs open. Like 64 definitely runs much better than when I used to have 16. Like with 16, when I was getting up into like the couple of dozen tabs open, it was struggling. But with well, and I'm exaggerating, it was struggling in when I was in this, kind of like the main level, everything loaded in. But when I visit family, I have a laptop with 1070 and a i5 with 16 gigs of RAM, and it still runs decently. I usually stream from there as well. So come Christmas, we'll be we'll be chatting from this other laptop. This other laptop, it's still a PC, but you get what I'm saying. All right, so let's try and get this one also set up. Okay, there we go. Whoa, that really lifted that thing up right there. Okay, that's good. Let's just try and add a couple more points to this just to make it a little bit more accurate. All right, there we go. And this one, 19, da, da, da. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. And this piece, let's see if we can, wondering if it's going to look too weird if I try to like kind of climb over this. Let's try and get these blocks a little closer. Like I said, I really don't want to change. I just want this to go like straight and not at an angle, so that way each one of these fenced meshes, they kind of uh, join each other a lot better. Trying to figure out how I want to get this piece here, and maybe this is gonna work. Like just trying to get these to follow the ridge. Yeah, to about there. Actually, I went a little too overboard with it, I think. Okay, that's kind of okay, I guess. Can we? I don't want to place another piece because this is like, it's got to make sense a little bit with the garages. And even this one in here is a little too much. Come on, do we have a, oh, there we go. That was actually a little bit of a better positioning, I think, for this rock. And we can try and fake it with a couple of these other fences. Like this. And that, okay. Yeah, the only thing I don't really like is I might change this mesh to something else. So that way, like, see, it just ends, it needs to end into another piece like this. But I think I have something that might work a little bit better. Let's see. Whoa, where, what just happened? There we go. So this one has two poles, one at each end, and I think that works better. I might just need to have it spaced out a little bit more, like that. Okay, yeah, that's gonna do. I'm actually starting to like this mesh slightly better than the other one. Because, you know, then I can also have some gaps in it and it's not gonna look uh, horrible. Like the stuff that just follows the terrain is fine because it's a straight line. But this one, yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to manage. And let's get them a little closer. Just need a few more instances of it. There we go. That's better, I think. There. Hey, David Castellano. Yeah. Um, if you mean like hardware, then yeah, definitely. I need to keep that in mind, you know, like lower end PCs, computers. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Let's see, this is an angle. Unfortunately, this one is the only type that I have. And in this case, I don't really mind so much, like a little bit of an overlap there. Okay, but that fence actually follows it pretty good. That works. And then on this side, I need to get this one to go all the way to here. to about there should be fine. And let's see, what do I want to do? Can I make this one go all the way to the street? I think we can. Let's see, maybe a little closer. There we go. I think that should be good because we also have the sidewalk, so I need to account for that as well. And that, let's get a corner piece. And that is actually pretty good. Let's try and position it. Okay, there we go. And oh, that is surprisingly well, it's almost in place. And it being slightly off, I am not very concerned. I mean, it's mostly just to keep the player in. So there, just extend that out a little bit. And excellent. So now this area is also kind of locked down and closed off. So all the way around, all the way around. All right, excellent. Well, let's get the last one, which is this section of town, Zone 2, and get this one to be the same. And this one's going to be simple because it's all flat terrain. Like I said, slightly shot myself in the foot with this being on a on a not an angle, but like this terrain being slightly more elevated than the rest. But I guess I have to live my with my choices. But yeah, let's get this in to about there, and then I'm just going to use this one that I've already placed in here. All right, let's just try and get them closer, and then get the corner in place. But this one, I just need to set the rotation to just flip them around like that. All right, let's try and see where we can get with it. To about there. And let's use this one. And see where we want to position it. So the cool thing with this is that if I decide to change the fence mesh, you know, like, oh, there's just too much overdraw. I mean, which this is a mask, so it's going to be fine. But um, I might, it's going to be easy to just change these meshes with something that has the same scale. I mean, the same size. And at that point is where, you know, exporting to Blender and creating something new comes into play. But that's the easy part. For now, this particular mesh looks really good. And I might be able to kind of push it this way a little bit and get one more instance in here like that. Let's make sure that back in here is still connected into the main section, and it is. Okay, good. So let's try and align these best we can. I think we'll be fine to do it. Okay, there we go, right there. And we can just lift this up a little bit. Just to try and just nitpicking here. So I'm trying to like get it. Oh, that was actually good positioning there. Good. All right. And then this one goes around to here. And I just need to lift this up a little bit. Too much. All right, there we go. Almost there. And then the last piece, I'm actually going to pull this military thing right outside here. Okay, so last piece. Actually, I'm just going to use this one on this side because it's already rotated. The meshes are set with the right angle. So let's just place it over here. And I'm going to try to adjust it based on, I think this position is good. This one might need one less instance here, so 20, just like that to do the corner. Hey Bob, welcome, welcome. Buonasera, salud. How you doing? All right, and this one just need to, let's see, is the point over here? Oh no, the whole thing needs to be lifted up a little bit, just like that. That's good. And then this one, let's see, is it the road or is it the whole thing that I need to lift as well? I think the whole thing could be lifted up a little bit. I kind of sunk these in a little too much. So let's go to there. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully, um, hopefully this stream is not taken away from it. Hopefully it's just it's adding some, not taking away. All right, so let's make sure that these ones, I think, because we've lifted this one up, so I just need to adjust this point back down to about there. There we go. And then this one, I think we've adjusted this a little bit. I think we can lift it up a little bit higher, maybe. There we go. That's good. All right, and this guy here, I'll need to adjust this to wherever the corner is going to go. All right, so let me grab one of these corner pieces from here. Come on. There we go. Oh, right on, right on. Well, if you have any questions, as always, I can definitely try to answer them and hopefully not confuse you any further, but let me know. All right, so this piece is I'm gonna try and get it to here, and it is almost in place right there. Okay, that's about it. Let's see if we can get this to be on the grid, even if it's just the 1 unit grid. It's still better than nothing. And then this one, let's try and get it into place. Okay, just about there. That's good. Um, since I started studying the engine, I realized it's way too much to learn the entire darn thing. Yeah, well, I think just with like anything, it's just being patient and taking your time. Because yeah, it's you got to think about it. When did Unreal Engine came out? In like 2004, like 2000, in like the middle 2000s or something like that. At least like the because I think at that time it was what did they call it? Like the Unreal Tournament, and it was like just a thing to edit the Unreal Tournament maps. I can't remember what year it was, but yeah, I think it's getting close to like 20 years. So you can imagine, or yeah, you probably definitely closer than what I am. So yeah, it's think about it. 15 years in like technology, right? It's a lot, and you can imagine what a few hundred people that are working on it have done in that time. And we're just, besides the fact we're always just trying to catch up or keep up. Uh, yeah. So while indeed, none of us are ever gonna catch up, I think it's just trying to do something with it is great. It is. I mean, I really enjoy it, um, and I think I might have mentioned this before. No matter what comes of this project, um, I'm still. I mean, this is still something fun to do, you know, and uh, it's sometimes it's more enjoyable than playing a video game, to be honest. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, and art is really cool. Like I like I definitely enjoy, doing this stuff during the streams, Um, and a little bit of part of what we did yesterday was, kind of blueprinting things. So that was also fun, I think. Hopefully, the people feel the same way. But but yeah, I'll have to say, this part, with like the art part of it is a lot of fun too. All right, well, I think that's not gonna get any closer than that. I think. This part, this one looks a little funky on this end over here. So let me see if I can change this mesh to whatever the other one that I used was. 1 second here. There we go. That's quite all right. Hmm. Oh, no, well, yeah, I agree. For myself in general, creating something in 3D is a great pleasure. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Like animations are so awesome, and they're actually, I think, to me, they feel like a really at least for myself, I've always had a hard time um, in getting to understand how some things work when you actually create an animation from scratch, like all the things you got to take into account and like the amount of work. So yeah, it's complicated, but that's kind of like the fun in it, right? Nothing that is, I mean, was it there a saying like, um, nothing easy is something or other? Yeah, so hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to say. Nothing worth doing is easy. I think that's what it was. Uh, so yeah. All right. So guys, what I want to do now is trying to test out. You might have recalled some of the stuff that we did in a previous stream. Yeah, it's not finished. Sorry. But so what I want to do is I want to try and start my navigation by the lake, kind of do a little bit of a swim, come up through the sewer system up into zone 1, then from zone 1, kind of go through this window, up the stairs, use the zip line, go into zone 2, then down the stairs here, and navigate around zone 2 for a little bit just to make sure that everything works as expected. The only thing that I need to have here is a way to get off this building. And for that, I'm gonna and try and use this scaffolding here because I already have some of it in place, and I'm gonna try and use what we got and see if I can, get down from the off of the building. All right, so one thing that I do want to change is this one is going to be a town zone 2 exterior. Yeah, so uh, what's going to happen is you're going to go through the interior of the building, but right now I don't have any. Actually, it might be simpler to do it through the building itself because I know I already have the stairs in place, kind of going down, and then I just need to set up the exit. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Because I don't want to have, what is this town like? Old scaffolding? It looks a little odd. I mean, I'm gonna put it on the side of the building just as a kind of um, as a design piece or like as a filler asset, but kind of just place it right there. Okay, there we go. All right, so a couple of things, couple of cleanup as things that I want to do is um, around here. is this door is kind of, it's got some issues. And let's go into this level and edit it. So the interior, this one has a rotation of 90. So let's see, it's got there, interaction state is going to be closed. And this is not a lock pickable door. I don't want to do any lock picking for this one. And now let's check out the collisions. So, because that one was one thing that I was running into, and I think um, it's something odd around this door. I mean, not the door, but the oh, oh my God, I'm so silly. It's actually this this number has collisions, and I was wondering why can I go through that door when it was open. I think it might have been because of this. Let me gonna disable the collisions. Where's the outliner here? So I got the door. I think though it's kind of odd. I thought I had this. Oh, I did not parent it. So this one, I didn't parent this one to the door. So it was sticking that, it wasn't rotating with the door. So that's why it was causing that issue. But I am going to disable collision for this one. Remove collision. There we go. And the other thing that I need to do is, um, how can you parent it by, is it attached to, because you can you can drag it up, but, oh, and the other thing that I want to do is for this wall in particular, let's take a look at the collision. So show simple collision. Okay, so that collision is fine. I think it's an issue with the door frame, so I need to remove the collisions from the door frame because this one just adds trouble. The door has collisions, which is fine, but I don't think I'm not gonna need collisions for the door frame itself, and it's kind of messy anyways. You can see. Um, so I'm just gonna remove this. There we go. So I'm hoping that the opening is going to be big enough for the player. Uh, let's actually, one second, let me go back into player collision. Oh, it feels like this. I'm not sure why it feels like that opening is so small for this. Did I scale it? Oh, I did scale it. Oh, my bad. That might cause some trouble. I scaled it way too much. So this doorway, I'm not sure why this doorway is so big, like the opening of it, but let's try and scale it to somewhat of a more appropriate size. I think at this point I can go into lit mode because using player collision just is really performance heavy. All right, I think that might be where it's at. All right, so that's good, that's good. Then this one, I wish you could can I attach it to, and what is this other one called? BP interactable metal door 2. So let's call this BP room 1 door. And then I can hopefully right click, attach to room 1. Didn't like that. It doesn't want to, interesting, it doesn't want to attach it to blueprint. It's pretty odd. Well, in that case, there's another way around it. We'll just place the, like a bunch of hotels have it like this, not so much on the door, but you know, next to the door. So we'll just do it like that. I'll try and see what that might, why that might be an issue where you know, this is not, I can't attach it to, I thought I was able, you would be able to attach it to a blueprint actor, but apparently not. Okay, so I think we got that door set. Now the other one, so the zip line goes all the way to here. Now this guy, I need to set this up. Oh, let's do it like this. To go back in real quick and copy this door because it's already in place. So copy this. And back here, let's quickly edit this one. And then edit and paste here. There we go. Oops, no, I don't want to delete that because I wanted to use that particular door. So I'm just going to move it to the side here. And then this one goes to about here. I can scale this down. I don't need it to be that big. Kind of size them a little bit for some of these, but at least inside the hotel. So I think 1.1 should be enough. And the same for this one. Let's do it at 1.1. Unfortunately, this particular door, I wish this package, while it's got a really good set of doors, um, I wish it had all the door frames about the same scale. It seems they're off a little bit, but that's not a big deal. That's, I mean, not a big issue. You can see like the door frame is 1.1. This door is 1.1. And it doesn't really quite fit in it. So, I mean, I'm not complaining too much. Okay, so let's get that one done. And back in here, I'm gonna, at least for now, I'm gonna remove this door, or maybe just have it swung open like this. And then you got the stairs going down, going down, going down. I think this is the first floor. Yes. So back in here, let's have this one open as well. Oh, no, it goes the other way, like this. And then the one going outside, open it up. Oh, I need the glass as well, so open this up like that. There we go. And let's also set the glass for this one to something transparent. So glass, you'll love how I'm labeling some of my materials. That's glass transparent best. And then this one should have the same one. Oh, not that one, but transparent. Ah, come on. Can I type? There we go. Okay. And one thing that I'm noticing here is wherever this piece comes from, I can't believe I took like 2.5 levels of this building for this for this stair. That's a little bit, that's quite a lot. I think I've overdone it a little bit with these, but I'll solve that. I'll fix that. Okay, and now let's just add a little bit of lights. Let's see if I can also make this one transparent. Will it be any kind of light coming in? Uh, Best transparent. There should be a little bit at least, but it's probably not that much because the sun is not on this side. So I'll be adding a little bit of, I'm gonna block this entrance because I don't want the player going this way. There's some light coming through from here, which is good. So I'm just gonna help it out a little bit um, with the post-process volume. So for that, just gonna use the same one that I'm using for the hotel interior, because that's gonna make things quite a simpler. Now the only thing is, oh, I wish I haven't done this. So I was playing around with uh, this, with editing shapes like this. Um, so I'm just going to use it like this, like it is for now, because yeah, see, this is what somebody suggested during one of the streams that you can edit these shapes, which is awesome. So this is post-process volume, and you can just edit the brush itself and then create some of these, you know, shapes like that. So with this post-process volume, I think it should look a little bit better on the interior. There we go. I think that has a little bit more light coming in, like around here as well. Yeah, as you can see, this is what that upper level is kind of looking like, which is pretty bad. So I'll need to address that. But in the meantime, we got the player coming down. Let me just adjust these because with the post process, these lights are a little bit too much. All right, that is better. Okay, never mind the light coming through the opening hole in the roof. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, as we're closing on 2 hours, I think it will be a good test to see where's my player start. Should be around here somewhere. There we go. Can I select it? Yes. Okay. So let's start from over here on the beach, kind of this little beach area. And yeah, kind of navigate, swim a little bit over to that sewer entrance, go through the sewer, up the stairs into zone 1, up into the hotel, and then through the zip line into zone 2. Let's see how this works, or how messy it's going to be. Hopefully it works out, but I think it will. All right, so in 5.3 right now, you would see like a loading screen, like the little loading, but I I don't know what's happening with that. Why is that's not working properly? So, all right, so let's go ahead and we'll go into the water. Oh, actually, let me. Hopefully the audio is coming in okay. I need to fix a couple of things here because I can resurface. And there's also like a kind of a walking sound instead of just this little. There we go. I think it was just taking its time to like resurface. So we're going right underneath where the antenna is. All right, so this particular mesh doesn't have a physical material attached to it, so that's why it doesn't sound like doing anything. Come on. All right, so let's go through the sewer here. Oh, this is the part where I need to like kind of those crows from outside. I need to make them quiet because they're like, oh, thank you, Nolkable. Um, and yeah, so I'll show you that that next week. I'll try and spend a little bit of time on getting that blueprint to work. You know, so when you enter like interior spaces, kind of reduce the noise from the outside. All right. All right. So at least now you can hear the.
Stay indoors. Zone 1 curfew in effect. Stay indoors.
So now this is the little announcement that I was showing you guys yesterday. Hopefully that's coming in.
Zone 1 curfew in effect. Stay indoors.
And then these dudes over here. These are again like the guys that you can't interact with. Um, like they're just gonna now acknowledge you that you're there, and
Stay indoors.
you know they don't have anything to say.
Zone 1
I'm not
curfew
sure
in
for
effect.
some of these there are like some hitches in like the performance because right now it like
Stay
works really
indoors.
badly, but all right, so let's climb through this.
Zone 1 curfew in effect. Stay
So
indoors.
yeah, this is that elevator that we worked on last week. Oh, and
Zone
this is
1
the big
curfew in
test here
effect.
with the door. Oh God,
Stay
there we go.
indoors.
All right, that's better. Passed the test. All right, so now let's go and grab the zip line. I still didn't get around to making this go a little quicker. I think what you're seeing right here, I think this is the HLODs. So these little funky things here. Um, like I said, um, I'm not sure how it works when you got all these like individual pieces for meshes, you know, with the HLODs. If it was one solid mesh, it would have probably worked better. But yeah, so this guy is like Ninja Warrior here. Yeah, it needs to move a little bit because right now it looks like it's sliding back and forth. Um, well, actually, yeah, it doesn't seem to be moving us. The amount of movement is not doesn't seem to be equivalent with the amount um of effort. Like how much he's like moving his arms don't seem to be as much as how far he's moving. So that's why it took a while to get back to this end. All right, so now back on the roof. Let's go down the stairs. That didn't have collisions, and there's a wall missing over here. But with that post process, it does add a little bit more light in here, so which is good. So let's go down the stairs to the first level. There's those there's the stairs coming through the roof, so I need to fix that and some of these walls. But other than that, we've made it into this zone 2, and that's good. I just need to add like the windows for these buildings that are not going to be enterable. But yeah, so this is going to be one of the points where you're going to meet some other folks, which apparently I need to fix this collision as well. Doesn't like to. I think it seems to be a little too narrow. All right, yeah. So again, you're limited on these ends. Like the gas station is over here. Um, and then again, just a fence. So, oh, this one's got some odd there's something there. Some odd collisions are happening here that I need to fix. Oh yeah, it's extending all the way to here. Kind of wondering what that might be. Okay, but um, but yeah, so we were able to. Whoa, that really looks kind of horrible for this. See how it goes from that what I think it's the HLOD it to the mesh itself, but it doesn't have a good distance transition for whatever reason. So like I said, I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on with the HLODs and what might be um, what might be the issue there is they don't get generated. All right. Um, so that's going to be it, guys. Thank you everybody for stopping by. I hope there was something interesting to see. I'm really happy that we got all these zones kind of locked down, and testing like basically the start of the game, right? I mean, for this landing location, landing here, getting your first mission for this from this one guy that's going to live closer to this little shack here, and then, going through the sewer system back into zone 1. Um, and then I have these guys scattered here that are currently not doing anything, but these are going to be like the friendly NPCs, and then some of the crowd NPCs that just, walk around or like sleep here and there or just hang out. And going through the window, this window working that we did yesterday. Yeah, there's minor things that I need to take care of. Like this is a minor thing. Like this wall is sticking out, this interior wall is sticking out. Finishing off this entrance here and trying to make it so that it doesn't take like 2 stories of this building. But I mean, 2 stories is fine, but right now it's going into like the bottom floor. So yeah. Um, okay. Well, I think that's going to be it for this week, everybody. Uh, we got some good progress going. I hope to have quite a few more for next week. And yeah, until then, everybody have a great week. and be safe. And I'll see you in 6 days or so. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Adamski, good to have you. Bye bye. Thank you, Nolkable. Thank you, guys.